Yeah.
I don't know if Mum's going to email you soon about a tattoo. I don't know if that's what's really driven the question.
She can have this little sombrero. Sorry.
I don't know.
No.
I don't know about that. No. Mum, you can do what you want, Mum. I'm all good with it. Hello and welcome back to JobsWorth. Now, I'm going to level with you. This is going to be a very quick introduction because I have, like most of the country this week, made my way down to Cornwall with my kids because it's the summer holidays. We are staying just between Falmouth and Truro in a little place called Penryn. I know that because I read it in one of those tourist guides yesterday. This week, we have an incredible tattooist called Sam Ford coming on the podcast. I've been after a tattooist for months and we've bagged a good one. So we speak to Sam about her career, 20 years in the industry. She's a second generation tattooist. And we speak to her about the highs and lows of working in an industry like tattooing, the stigma surrounding it, the stereotypes, how she's bucking some of those stereotypes and going against the grain. And what the last couple of years has been like in the industry. It's been a challenging time for all tattooists. And resilience comes to mind when I talk to Sam. And this was a really great episode. I do mention this during the podcast, but I once got in touch with a tattooist to ask if I could be their apprentice. We mentioned that during the course of this conversation. So enjoy it. If you've got any feedback at all, please get involved in the comments and stay tuned for next week. So, Sam.
Yes.
We're going to start with the opening question on the podcast, which is always the same. When you were younger, what did you want to be when you grew up?
I wanted to be an actress.
You wanted to be an actress?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Tell me more about that.
There's not much. No.
Okay.
I loved it.
Yep.
I did a few little bits and pieces, but I didn't think we really had I didn't have the confidence, and I don't think we had the financial backing to be able to kind of push that.
So I'm always interested in it, which is why I start every episode with the same question. But how old were you when you had this early dream of being an actress?
Oh, forever.
Really?
Yeah, really young.
Yeah.
And now my daughter's following that path. So.
Okay.
But yeah, we've got different circumstance now. So,
yeah. So do you feel like you are able to support her and take some of the opportunities that maybe you didn't have when you were
without
younger?
being that kind of
pushy show mum.
Yeah, she's the driver in that scenario. It's not me, but she's. It's nice to be able to see her do something with the confidence that I never had.
Right. Okay.
So
out of interest, what was it? Was it just acting, or were you because I
was doing the musical theatre,
so dancing?
Yeah, I think creatives tend to have that.
Yeah.
Double kind of sided thing where we do a little bit of the performing arts and the fine arts sort of thing as well. So you've got so you're exploring multiple creative outlets is one of the things. Okay. I think so. How old were you when you realised you had a talent for art? I used to draw the members of my favourite boy bands, I think.
That's so good.
And really dedicate some time to the fine art pencil drawings. And then probably when I must have been probably 11 or 12.
Yeah. You now have to tell us some of your favourite bands of the time. Can you remember?
Boyzone.
Okay, yeah. This isn't from a place of judgment.
No.
You feel free
I just
to
remember
share.
I have got, I think, tucked away somewhere in the loft, a portrait of Ronan Keating.
Brilliant.
He wasn't even my favourite, but...
Maybe he was just like the easiest to draw, or you just found something particularly interesting about his face and was drawing that.
Who knows? Who knows?
Yeah. So 11-ish, are you saying?
Yeah, I mean, I used to hang out at the tattoo studio that my dad had when I was really young. So I was always sort of drawing the tattoo designs, to keep me out of the way and kind of keep me occupied.
Yeah.
And then, just was naturally, I suppose, good at art. But I never really progressed it very far.
It's an interesting one because we'll go on to talk about this, but you're second generation tattooist, which I don't know how common that is. I don't know if you've got any idea.
There's a few of us about, but it's not overly common.
It's not a common conversation I have with people that have been doing it for, they're taking it, picking it up with something that their mum and dad has done and then moving forward with it. So it's quite special to have that.
Yeah. No, definitely.
But do you feel like it's passed down from your dad, that artistic talent?
It's definitely that's definitely like passed down from him.
Okay.
I'm not even sure if the interest in tattooing's from that, but I suppose it was just pure exposure.
Yeah, you're in and around it.
Because it's not a usual environment for children, I suppose, to be in.
Are you seeing that in your daughter as well? Is she picked up, as well as being creative in that music,
she's amazing
dance?
at art, to be fair. But it's not something I kind of tend to push too much. She's a perfectionist like me.
Okay.
And I wish that she wasn't. I'd love her to be more relaxed, but if we're sitting down to draw, she doesn't do it for joy.
She puts pressure on herself to make sure it's really
so
good.
I've kind of left her to that. Whereas now she's got like a natural, she'll go and do her own thing and watch a YouTube video and come back with some sort of anime stuff.
Yeah.
So she's beginning to enjoy it now. But when she was younger, she got frustrated that she couldn't do what I do.
Yeah.
You know, and it's quite hard to explain that to a young, you know.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? I guess part of my curiosity around asking that question is the nature versus nurture thing as well. Like how much of what is passed down for us is through blood and genes, and how much is it of just having that, as you use the word, exposure, of being in that environment and being inspired and let loose to be creative.
Yeah, I think definitely. I mean, I wasn't around my dad growing up particularly. Okay. So I stopped seeing, there was a time period after 10 years old that I wasn't around him at all.
Okay.
So I think personally it's much more genetic rather than exposure.
Yeah.
But obviously you can hone a craft and you can get excited about things together and push it more, can't you, I suppose, if you are exposed to it.
Because I guess talent takes you up to certain lines, so an innate talent to be able to draw, like put a pencil to paper and actually do the lines.
Yeah.
And then, the
difference is being able to then direct that talent.
Exactly, push it, nurture it, grow it, commit the hours that it takes to become really bloody good at something. Yeah, okay, that's really interesting. What was your experience like at school? Where did you grow up?
South Church,
okay.
So very local.
Yep.
I was a pretty basic kid. My mum was like, I wasn't very, unproblematic.
Yeah.
Went to Southend High.
Mm-hmm.
Skived a fair amount.
Okay.
Coasted through and did the bare minimum, I would say.
Okay.
But not through any rebellion or anything. I've just, unfortunately, that is a little bit of my nature. I think I sway between the bare minimum or like seriously hardcore obsessed for a little while.
Yeah.
And it's this pendulum of just kind of...
I massively relate to that.
Yeah.
I'm all in, all out, really.
Exactly.
Yeah. And when I'm obsessed with something, it kind of takes over every waking minute, and I am putting all of my energy into either improving
everything
something.
Everything else falls away and you're
exactly. It's very hard to sit on the fence or be in the middle ground. I just want to touch upon something you said. So you didn't, after the age of 10, so we're talking about you being a second generation tattooist, you weren't in regular contact with your dad after the age of 10?
No, just, the regular family stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
So I used to see him up to the age of 10. And most of the time, predominantly, that would be in the studio.
Okay.
Because he was at the peak of his career.
Yeah.
And he was very successful in his time. And I think he knew tattooing, that's all he knew, sort of thing, which is amazing. So that's why I was kind of there. And then, so I started seeing him again at 16.
Okay, because that's what I was going to ask you. Like, how did then you get kind of... I imagine it wasn't that you saw that up to the age of 10 and then thought some point in the future there had to have been a circle that came back round again.
I sought him out again at 16 and started to get, again, his home was a studio. So if I'm seeking my dad out, I'm going into Silver Needles. Yeah. So
just for anyone listening or watching this, your dad founded Silver Needles in the Arches.
Yep, under Pier Arches.
Yeah, in the 80s?
1988.
Yeah, wow.
Okay. Yeah, I think he started on York Road Market before that.
Okay, right.
But then, 1988 down at the seafront.
So at 16, you sought him back out and did that. You reconnected and you were...
Yeah, absolutely. And again, like I was working in the hospitality industry and I was giving it my all and earning absolutely nothing.
Yeah, it's still the case for anyone doing that.
Absolutely. And I loved it. Don't get me wrong. I really enjoyed working in the bars and restaurants. But again, when I would visit the studio and realise that the hourly rate was like the hourly rate was 10 times what I'd be earning, in a coffee shop, it piqued my interest a little bit.
Yeah, because it sounded like you were already connecting those dots from quite a young age, that okay, I want to do something that is making me money, and if I can, maybe were you thinking if I can merge that with something that I enjoy doing, and that
it kind of was more going into the studio and no one could really stop me.
Okay.
My dad was off doing his thing, and they had a great team. Like the guys down there were amazing, and they had a big part to play in me learning.
Yeah.
But I think it was the arrogance of the daughter going in and being like, "Well, I'm here. Like, show me what to do."
Brilliant. Yeah.
And I think more, there wasn't someone to go, "Well, no, you can't do that."
What was the culture like around that time as well? Because I think everyone has a perception of what tattoo culture is like.
Yes,
now,
and it's changed a hell of a lot.
Well, I was going to talk to you about that as well.
Yeah.
But what was it like then? So you're 16 years old. I mean, you've grown up in and around the tattoo
probably 18
studio anyway.
when I sort of I 20 years old, I fully started an apprenticeship.
Got you.
So, yeah, so around then.
Yeah.
But that's 20 years ago, so it was a big shift in the last 20 years. It was great.
Yeah.
Fry-ups in the morning before we started work.
Yeah.
Bottles of cheap wine in the Alex after work pretty much every night. But still being dedicated to the clients and creating, which was always lovely. So it's such a great job.
Yeah.
I used to love it. But I did find it odd because I came from a work culture of like, if you're at work, you are working. So again, I'd probably put a shift in at a nightclub the night before and then go down to the studio in the morning. But tattooists worked to their own time.
Yeah.
Or they did, back then. And it was a real culture shock.
Right.
Because, like you weren't clocking in and getting on with it. Like you'd meander down there and they'd be like, oh, should we get a fry-up or should we get breakfast? And, they wouldn't start tattooing until gone midday.
Yeah.
It blew my mind. I was like, oh, okay, like it's different.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I struggled with that, if I'm honest. But I think that's why I progressed so quickly.
Yeah.
Because I'd come with a different work ethic.
Well, I was going to say, what you're doing,
and it's not to say that their work ethic was not good. It was just different.
Different, yeah. You're implementing some of the lessons and the tools that you've learned, and then putting it into an environment where if you do apply yourself like that, you could probably get ahead quite quickly. Yeah, and it's not a judgment. And I talk about tattoo culture from having sat in studios for a few hours at a time and had tattoos. So I'm not going to come at it from a position of being a specialist or anyone that's even had plenty of experience. But yeah, I think there's a perception around it. And definitely if you think back in the 80s of what that world must have been like, I can imagine it's very, very different to how it is now with the kind of next generation of
for good and bad, really.
Yeah, because I think there's something really unique about what it was like. And then maybe that gets lost over time.
Yeah, I'm very grateful that I was able to be a part of it when I did, when I was back then.
Yeah.
Yeah, and to be able to fall back on that experience is quite a gift, I think.
Can I ask a question?
Of course you can,
What was your mum's opinion of you deciding at 20 to go into a tattoo apprenticeship?
My mum is just the most supportive person.
Okay, that's lovely to hear.
She wasn't friends with my dad at that point. My stepdad was not happy about it, understandably.
Okay.
Because I think he thought I was trying to connect with my dad and that wasn't very fair to him. My stepdad's amazing, again, very, very fortunate. And I didn't see it like that. I just saw it as, I'm good at this.
Yeah.
I'm like, why wouldn't I run with it? Why? I've got an opportunity here to be good at something, to grow, enjoy, and earn money. I was like, it's an obvious choice. It's an obvious choice. But I think once he understood that it wasn't a personal decision based, obviously it was lovely I'm grateful to have all my parents kind of
what a lovely situation to be in now.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, we had to navigate that for a minute.
I'll share just so you're a little more comfortable talking about that dynamic because my mum and dad separated when I was 2, and I have thought about reconnecting with my dad at various points in my life, and it happened. We saw each other a few times up until I was kind of in my early 20s, and it never really went anywhere. Yeah. But then now I've got kids, I do sometimes often think, should I be rekindling that relationship or not? So I don't
think there's a right or wrong, is there? Really,
isn't. I've explored it a lot.
Personal journey that
it has to be
and
right
it will change
for you.
At different chapters.
But I am mindful of how that would impact my stepdad.
Oh, okay.
My stepdad, who I now see as my dad. My mum and stepdad got together when I was 13 years old, so a little bit later down the line.
He was there obviously for that adolescent kind of...
dealing with all of the weird shit that teenage boys go through, and did it with... don't know if I could ever have done what he did, and he was incredible. But yeah, I just wanted you to know that I can relate to I can really relate to what you're saying. What does a day in the life of an apprentice back then look like?
So cleaning.
I thought cleaning.
Lots of cleaning.
Teas, coffees.
Okay. We'd make the needles back then, so we'd solder the needles.
Right. Okay.
We'd sterilise them.
Yeah.
You'd potentially spend a lot of time using fine liners and practice tracing old flash.
Yeah.
You'd set up the stations for the other artists, break them down again, and obviously greet clients and just be immersed in the environment, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had to graft.
Yeah, and I guess you're learning by doing. You're learning by osmosis, by watching
yeah.
everyone else doing what they're doing too. What are you practicing on? I'm not going to get too bogged down in the detail of it, but it just really interests me.
Technically, you're supposed to be practicing on pigskin.
Technically.
Go
on.
I didn't do that. I think because I was obviously in the hospitality industry, I had abundance of people that were, I'll take a free tattoo.
Okay.
So
did you ever start on pigskin at all? Or did
no,
you go
I've done it later on,
okay.
just as a curiosity kind of thing. But no, straight in on. Great people.
Do you remember the first tattoo you ever did? Is that etched in your mind?
Yeah, I did a tattoo on Jethro that was a bit of a mentor for me. So he used to work at Silver Needles. And I did the kanji symbol for tits.
Okay.
Real classy. And I think he still got it on his leg.
Yeah.
And I think it was him that said to me, you've just picked it up and gone for it.
Yeah.
And he was like, that doesn't happen like a lot.
Yeah.
And that's all I needed to hear. It was like, okay, I can run with this now.
Are we talking about the Jethro that then went on to Skin Yard?
Yes.
Yes. So Jethro, or Jeff, did my first ever tattoo. He did both my arms. So my first ever sitting was with Jeff at Skin Yard for 7 hours on my back.
Oh,
and that was my baptism of what at the time felt like literal fire. So I don't know him particularly well.
No, he's awesome. Let's say he's a big part of me.
He's been in the scene for a long time as well, right?
Yeah. I think he's just moved to Leigh-on-Sea actually.
Yeah, brilliant. Okay, that's great. Home. So what symbol was it for tits?
Like the little, I don't know if you call it Chinese symbol or kanji or back then.
Yeah.
Everyone was getting them, along with obviously the tribal but it was obviously not something simple that was a black outline colouring in black.
Okay.
So it was something you can handle for the first time.
And once you'd done that on a human being, did you then start to get the taste for, because it's one thing I guess doing it in the tattoo theory, if I can call it that, or starting to practice and getting your line work right, but then to do it on, because you're an artistic person regardless of the canvas.
Yeah.
Once you'd done that first tattoo, are you then starting to think, I'm ready, I'm just going to keep going at this point?
Literally, just like, you can't stop me. I don't think I'm a particularly technical person. I think I'm an instinctual. I probably have understood it, but I haven't understood that I've understood it by watching, if that makes sense. Yes. I don't realise I've processed it, and I'll just try it and can magically do it.
Yeah.
But obviously it's not that simple.
Yeah.
So I'm just observant, and then gun ho.
And were you getting some validation from your dad as well as Jeff?
In all honesty, he tried to. I think he wasn't involved really. Was that a conscious decision, do you think, from him? I think so. I think this is a struggle that I have actually even to this day is throughout my career. It's obviously spanning 20 years, so I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah.
I love what I do, but I don't think I maybe. There's a bit of imposter syndrome there of maybe not paying my dues a little bit.
Okay.
And obviously my dad did that, but I wasn't around to witness all of the struggles that he did and all the cool old school, shit that he had to do to get the job done and get his own shop. And I walked in and like I said earlier, no one could stop me.
Yeah.
So I didn't have to jump through the hoops that a lot of people have to do or had to do back then.
Right.
Not so much now. And so I remember overhearing him say or something to someone that I would never be a tattooist. I've probably got this completely I've probably fabricated this in my head now.
It's evolved over time.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Okay, but I think there was hearsay of him saying that I wouldn't be a tattooist because I didn't live tattooing. Do you know what I mean? I wasn't committed enough because I was, I am pretty much like I say, all in or all out, but I'm also quite frivolous with that.
Okay.
So if I'm in the studio, I'm all in. If I'm with my client in the chair, even to this day, like, you have my undivided attention. The minute I stand up and I'm out.
Right.
Which is a struggle.
You've got boundaries.
Yeah.
You can close that door and then kind of be out of that.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, okay.
And
That's
I think,
a great
and I
skill.
don't think he didn't like that.
Okay.
Well, and as you know, again, looking back, he was right.
Yeah.
To a degree. I think I coasted on just making a nice cup of tea and doing a decent job for a long time.
Yeah.
And not putting the background work in.
Okay. When did that change?
I don't know.
Did it change?
I don't know if it has. No, I mean, I don't believe that I could do what I do now without that changing.
Right.
I do say it a lot, and people pull me up on it a lot for me saying, I haven't put the work in. I have, obviously.
Clearly.
But do you know what I mean? Like, I think it's really hard to explain it, how I feel about it. The thing I love about tattooing is you can put in as much or as little as you want once you've obviously got the skills to do it. So you can take it any direct. You can take it in different directions for what you need at that time.
Okay.
So before I had my daughter, I wanted to make sure I had a waiting list to come back to. So I worked really hard. When I had her and she was a baby, I just did portraits because there was no prep to do at home. Do you know what I mean? I could just trace a picture. And like I said, when I'm in the chair, I'm executing that as best as I can.
Got you.
But I'm not spending 3 or 4 hours a night designing something for someone when I could be spending time with my 1-year-old. Do you know what I mean? So
completely understand, yeah.
But yeah, I go in waves of how I feel about it, about my dedication to it.
But I guess I've never seen tattooing as a career where you can do that. But there is so much flexibility, isn't there, around
honestly, like,
how you apply yourself in that
genuinely
environment.
believe it's one of the most beautiful things about it. Like, I could just chip away every day and just I could just copy flash all day and do no prep work. And I think it's a pretty big business.
Yep.
You know, and as long as you execute it well, you can earn tons of money, have people in the seat. You can be an arsehole and still have people in the seat, unfortunately. So I hear. I would hope that I'm not that person. Or, you know, you can create full body pieces and spend 10, 15 years with one client and build something special. Do you know what I mean? There's so many levels. You can travel the world with it. You can just sit in your shop and go in and do 9 to 5. Like, there's so much scope for variety in it.
I think when I was younger, I remember Jethro will never remember this. I remember emailing Jethro and asking if I could have an apprenticeship with him.
Really?
Like, vividly remember writing this email out. Because at that age, I had no idea what I wanted to do. I was 16, 17, leaving college, so 17, 18 years old, had no idea.
Yeah.
I never got a response. But
that's a standard tattooist for me.
But there felt like there was a mystique around the industry of how you actually got in. And you kind of alluded to it earlier. That apprenticeship, that rite of passage, is that something that you've seen change now? Is the entry point into the industry now, if you've got the setup, is that evolved? I won't lead you on that.
I can't speak at length on it because I'm removed from it. I think I'm happy in my little bubble.
Okay.
So I don't pay much mind to it. But I would obviously say, from just the thousands of studios that are popping up left, right and centre, there's definitely less of a path, like a rite of passage, like you say, to get into it now.
Yeah.
And again, for good and bad.
Yeah. Because
the level of talent and you know, the more talented people there are out there, then the harder you're pushing. And yeah, I don't know. I've just lost my train of thought there.
No, that's okay. I do that and I host the podcast, so it's fine. It's not a problem. I grew up with Charlie that went on to open Low Tide.
Yeah.
So he was a good friend of mine I knew him all through secondary school. We're in A-level history.
You didn't let him
together.
tattoo you?
Never. No, never at the time. And I never did. And now he's kind of moved out and pursuing his passion for angling. I don't even know, that might be a complete disservice to what he does now. But fish, he loves fishing and angling, and he's pursued that passion. But I remember seeing what he had to go through as an apprentice in Skinyard at the time, and I was like, that is a rite of passage. I describe it as a rite of passage because you were learning as you go. And yeah, I just think maybe if that's something that's lost now, I used to look at that like, God, if you've got through that, you've earned something, you've earned your stripes, you've earned your right to do it. And yeah, in researching for this episode, I just wonder if those same barriers, which are there for a reason, to test a bit of commitment, maybe
they would be in the right places, but I think it's a rarity now that I'm going to sound like an old woman.
Come on.
But the new generation, the youths, would take one look at that and go, well, I could either do that and work under this master and not earn a penny for 3 years and you know, and be cleaning the toilets and all that, or I could go to this guy over here who'll give me the fast track to then specialise in something after a year and not do anything else. And I think predominantly they're taking the easier
path.
But I mean, I'm not saying it doesn't exist. I'd love it if it still exists, and I'm sure it does. But obviously, it's washed away by the
it erodes over time, doesn't it? And the more opportunities there are to take the easier route, then maybe you start to see.
And that's not to say that those artists are any less dedicated or talented.
Yeah,
it's just different.
Yeah, that's really fair, I think, because I definitely don't think all tattooists would have that view, would they? They're not all going to share that view.
You know, again, we're all...
You're in your bubble.
Yeah. And I do think as well, I think it would be very easy to write off tattoo artists that are doing really well and are a one-trick pony, but because I believe that we all go through like different stages in the cycle of a career or a dedication to an art. So just because they're a bit of an arsehole now, it doesn't mean they're not going to learn from that and be decent in 5 years' time.
That's
do you know what I mean?
Generally, isn't it, as well, I think?
Yeah, exactly.
You would go through different phases.
Some of them might not evolve past that.
Well, they might evolve into one.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. I think it's unfair to judge someone based on one little chapter of their career, really.
That's a really balanced way of looking at it, I think, as well. And probably it keeps you focused on what you're doing. There's that, you know, the
But I think, I mean, with tattooing, it's not about us anyway. It's about the client. So predominantly, the feedback is going to write the course of your career.
Understood. Yeah.
So if you're not doing what you're supposed to do and making your client feel good while they're with you, then that will dwindle.
What do you feel like when it comes to specifically tattooing? Because we'll talk about what you do more broadly as a creative outlet too. But what is your style, and has that evolved to what it is today through various different things? Yeah.
Do you know what? I think predominantly realism.
Okay.
But I do like to try my hand. I like to vary what I do. I don't specialise in just doing black and grey portraits. I do colour botanicals. I did watercolour stuff for a while. That was a bit of a craze. A lot of pin-ups in the past. But I love sort of Japanese inspired or more illustrative stuff. I love it all.
Yeah.
But you tend to get guided by what you do, by what the public are seeing.
Yes.
Then determines my next 6 months of what I'm doing. So sometimes and that comes back to me saying how undedicated I am necessarily outside of the studio. I work really hard, but then I'm fatigued afterwards to then, I'm being mum or I'm doing this, I'm doing that. If I wanted to change a path, it needs more dedication in my own time.
Yeah.
That's what I struggle with, because everything's based on a trust that your client gives you.
Yeah.
So if I kind of want to veer in a new direction, people need to see that I can do it.
Yeah.
And it does, I get little glimmers of it, which is great. But I mean, it's beautiful that people trust me with realism.
It's huge, isn't it, as well? And if you're doing portraits of people, that's a huge, again, outside looking in, what a responsibility. You're accountable for making a visual representation of that person in the hope that it's going to be exactly
just
like
in the hope.
the photo. And we've seen enough examples of crap portraits on people, not of your work, obviously. But yeah, there are some people out there that maybe don't hold themselves to the same
But then,
standards.
do you know what? There's a big section of tattoo artists that believe that realism's a pile of shit.
So this is
and it's not given,
like the kudos or like the respect or the credibility. Yeah. There
are different little groups within tattooing that either support or not.
And that's what I was talking about earlier when I was saying it was a really balanced view that you were taking. Some of the conversations that I've had in studios aren't as balanced as that. In that, maybe they've got a view that a particular style or a particular way of doing things trumps. That's where the real talent is. Yeah. But you don't seem to hold that.
I just think sometimes tattooing takes itself too seriously. I think if you're going to go to Faliraki and get a little tattoo with your mates, go for it. It's funny. It's not got to be this Sistine Chapel every day and with a backstory. I mean, again, I'm so grateful. A lot of my clients are very serious about the work that I do because it tends to have more maybe emphasis on meaning or what have you. But I don't think it's a necessity to get tattooed. I really don't. And I just think it doesn't matter what style you do, as long as you do it well. Yeah. And as long as you're prioritizing your client, then you do you. Do you know what I mean? And I think art is so subjective that it's not, there's so many people that go, why on earth would they have a portrait of such and such? Or why have they got a penguin on their arm? Or why have, you just kind of like, well, it's not my business. I couldn't tell you. Like, it's absolutely their choice.
We seem to have spoken to a lot of creative people over the last few months. And there seems to be this transition from going to kind of client-led creation to then creating for the pure joy of it.
Yeah.
So again, so you go to a client with an idea to put on someone's skin. Do you get the opportunity to do that when it happens? Do you embrace it, or do you prefer to be client led?
That changes again depending on how much energy I've got to give to it. 10, 15 years ago, I've had clients go, "Oh, you can do whatever you want. I'll give you my back," and I'd be like, thanks. No, that's
pressure and responsibility.
No, I'd love it.
Yeah.
But I do think it's important to have a conversation first about maybe just, I like a starting point with my clients, but then mostly they just trust me to run with it. And I just think that's incredible. Do you know what I mean? That then they're trusting me to put my take on it. And most of the time they're like, oh, it's even better than I imagined. Yeah. It's very rare that I can't think of an incident but that's not happened for me.
I'm sure it'd stick in your mind if it had happened.
I would be mortified.
Yeah.
I would be gutted. I would like to do that.
Yeah.
But again, it's the devotion to it.
So I want to go back to lifestyle culture around tattooing.
Yeah.
Because again, this is a generalisation, but some of my experience has been the way people live their life while doing the job as well. Have you had experience? Have you seen great artists either burn out or give up because of some of the ways and some parts of the culture that is attached to tattooing?
I would say that especially now, the people that are tattooing, the different people, it's so broad now that maybe 15, 20, no, probably more than that, 25 years ago, you'd expect a certain type of person to tattoo. Maybe they've got a certain pathway in and they're living a certain lifestyle within tattooing. Now, I think it's so varied that there's a lot more focus on, so 20 years ago, you weren't allowed an interest outside of tattooing. Right. Again, it was, why aren't you
goes back to what your dad had said. You're not living
Whereas
tattooing.
Now I see so many artists prioritizing outside interests.
Work-life balance.
Yeah. What? It's profound. Some of them are doing ceramics in their own time. Some of them are off doing yoga retreats and I don't know. Do you know what I mean? So there's a lot more focus on not burning out now. It's very easy to do. I mean, I think it does consume you.
Yeah.
And just being a creative in general, it's you never switch off.
That's a real common trait that we've spoken about so much with creative people. Yeah, your brain is
just... But it's a blessing, obviously, but it is literally...
double-edged sword, isn't it?
Seriously.
Yeah. So you've done your apprenticeship at Silver Needles.
Yep.
And then how long were you doing that before you then took over or started the studio in
I opened Silver Needles 2, which we dropped the 2 in the end.
Right.
Yes, I opened that in 17 years ago. Wow. So I was only tattooing 2 to 3 years before.
How old were you at the time?
I would have been 23.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
So what goes through your head to make that decision, and why? Why did it come about?
I think my dad was going through some stuff, and in turn the studio was going through some stuff, and I think I was just at the cusp of really wanting more.
Okay.
my boyfriend at the time was really super supportive, and he was an accountant. And I came from a family, I was brought up to fear suits and kind of be intimidated by that.
There's a story around that. Like, yeah, it's a very different world, isn't it? To be. Yeah.
But it opened my eyes up to you can just open a business. Like, it never occurred to me that you could do that, even though obviously my dad was a business owner. I didn't connect the dots there.
Yes, yeah.
It was his influence I was like, I'm a bit concerned about this. I'm not happy. And he was like, well, just open your own one. And you kind of go, oh, like, it was literally that simple, that conversation. It was like, okay, let's do that then.
Because for anyone listening to this as well, the whole point of the podcast is sometimes to give a kind of view through the window that allows them to think, well, sometimes it is that simple. And
yeah. And youth is great for that.
Yeah, that's true.
It gets more complicated, I think, as you get older. You get maybe, it depends on the day.
Fear can build up. You've got more responsibilities maybe as you're further down the line, more financial commitments. But sometimes it's too basic to say it's as simple as that. But
do you know what? I attest it to support network. Having people that, I don't even think I realised how supportive people have been to me until recently. Because you kind of go, oh, well, I do everything. And you don't. You do, it feels like it, because you're the driving force. But actually, it's people planting the seeds and picking up the slack and kind of doing the little things that kind of enable you to do that. And I just think, for me, it's just going in with almost blind naivety and just
there's value in that.
Do it now, think later, or not.
Yeah.
And I think that's a big portion of the success of the studio still being here now.
Yeah, 17 years, what a run. It's amazing.
It's just literally having the blinkers on and not even thinking about the real stuff, and just, like I say, greeting someone as come in the door, having a conversation and doing the task at hand, like,
one step at
rather
a time,
than worrying about all the bigger picture. But I think that starts with someone letting you know that you can.
Yeah.
And then, like, that's all I needed. I was kind of, okay.
That's amazing. I again, point of curiosity, what was your dad's reaction at the time that you'd gone on to do that? Did you have his blessing going into that?
Well, I think, again, at the time, our relationship was maybe a little bit fractured. And in my head, I was doing it, not in spite of him, that's not fair, but it was mine to do. And then by the time I was building it, he was all in. And we hand-built everything in there, me and him, with help from Joe that used to work with us as well.
Yeah.
So he ended up being he's such a skilled person. Again, he is very much, although he's everywhere, he's dedicated to the task at hand, and he's talented beyond measure in loads of different ways. So I think that time was actually crucial in our relationship for building a relationship.
It sounds it, yeah.
And I had a lot more respect for him and the skills and the person and that he is from that. Because, again, although I think we weren't in a great place, he turned up. We don't work together, but we've tried not to work together very often in the last 20 years.
Yeah. Is he still tattooing?
He's retired.
Right, okay.
He is retired, but he might do the occasional kind of tattoo for a friend, because obviously he's been tattooing 40 years, maybe more.
Yeah.
So, it's always going to be a place for him.
Well, it's literally in his blood, isn't it?
Technically, because I wouldn't have it without him. So, it's one of those so complicated that it'd be 4 hours conversation before we even get stuck in on it.
The podcast, I don't want to focus on it too much, but it was just interesting. I'm thinking about a dynamic, and obviously, how that would have been received at that time. But as you go on, like, it's a challenge at the time, and it went on to strengthen your relationship.
Yeah, I think from him not believing maybe that I was dedicated, to also, I think there was a concern that it wasn't necessarily a female friendly environment. It was more male dominated at the time. This is speculation on my part from conversations I've had with other people, but I think his reluctance for me was then sort of overturned by seeing me just crack on.
Okay.
And obviously seeing me put the hard work in, and then, like I say, whether I wanted to or not, tattooing crept in.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It kind of
permeated whatever you were doing at the time. Yeah.
Yeah. And
were you aware of it being a kind of male-dominated industry, and did you give a shit?
No. Again, I do feel a little spoilt and unfair to others, and the fact that I've had conversations with many people and they did feel that effect. I just rolled in, got on with it, and I don't think I was exposed to that as much.
Well, it's good to be able to acknowledge that, while at the same time...
Yeah, so I think my experience has been very different from a lot of people.
Yeah.
So I was just very fortunate.
So 17 years, isn't that amazing? Do you give yourself a chance to celebrate that? Or is it just year by year goes by? Right,
I do now. I never paused. And I think now I'm 40 now, and yeah, there is time for pause and reflection, kind of going, okay, we're still here. Like, the last couple of years have been hard, the hardest I've had. And now it's turning around again. And, you kind of go, okay, we're still here. What's next?
Well, I'm going to go on to ask about how the industry's evolved and what your experience over the last few years has been, because I don't think it's unfair to say that the industry more broadly has seen a decline.
Massively.
And I'm interested to not completely unpick that, because that would be a full podcast in itself too. But there's so many things that we could go on to talk about. Did taking on the studio add to your love of the job or detract from it? Because managing a space, managing other artists as well, and I ask you the question to this day now: is it a different challenge, the management, to the actual you doing the tattooing?
I don't manage. It's a fluke. The place is still there. Well, I am a terrible business. Everyone that knows me knows that I will always say I am a terrible, terrible businesswoman.
Is that self-deprecating though? Are you just
maybe
not giving yourself?
It's not without.
There's a merit. There's a merit in it.
100%. Like, I have coasted along, like I say, by making a nice cup of tea and doing a nice tattoo.
There's a secret to anyone listening: just be able to make a nice cup of tea.
Honestly, like, there's been that is such a challenge. There's been countless times where I've gone, oh, is it better for me just to go and work for somebody else? Because there would be, it's always weighing in the back of your mind, having the studio. But I'm so deep in now, and every bit of artwork on the wall is a piece that I've collected from someone. Like, I go in,
like a museum essentially of bits that you've picked up along the way.
Honestly, like, when we're not working, we're sitting down, we're chatting, we're laughing, we're drinking a great cup of coffee and chewing the fat, and it's just such an incredible environment to be in that I'd struggle to give that up. So, but there's, it goes in waves. But that's, I think, when I was younger, I think I had an idea of what I wanted it to be, and then I realised I'm surrounded by artists. So
you're an artist yourself, so
and everyone's so different in their approach and the way that they work to the best of their capabilities. So I think once I let go of that, then it kind of removed that tension a little bit.
Got you. Because going back to your days in hospitality, there's almost a methodology. There's a uniform way of doing things.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong. Sorry to...
No, it's fine.
I was going to say, I have expectations on my artists. I expect them to treat the clients with respect. I expect them to be there, be present, work their hardest. Do you know what I mean? All of those things that's what makes people walk away going, I loved that. What an experience. Yeah. And, they keep coming back. Amazing. Yeah. But beyond that, how they manage their time and their creative flow, and, that's not my business.
That's the strength of the brand that you've created. And that is the ownership that I think it's very difficult to just take your hands off the wheel. You need to have standards. You need to... It's your studio name at the end of the day, and your name attached to that.
Yeah.
But again, working with creatives, it's very hard to get clones of everyone. Yeah. You're never going to do that. So you have to be accepting of variables along the way. I know that from my family who are creatives and various people that I've met. The expectation that everyone is going to work to exactly how you want things done is very
when you let that go, like when I'm kind of like, why aren't they working 7 days a week? Why aren't they working until midnight? Yeah. Like, why aren't you, like, well, because it's not theirs to do. Like, they don't have to do that. And also, 17 years has been a lot of coming and going with artists, and had some fantastic artists through the door. I'd much rather have a great person that can do a good tattoo and enjoy that time in the studio than have a really, really talented person that's just not the right fit for the studio.
The dynamic's off. There's something...
It's such an intimate environment that you notice straight away if something's off.
Yeah.
So I think, our strength is knowing what the little mix is, and kind of identifying quickly if there's a problem, and kind of rolling every day as it comes. and dealing with things head on,
right?
Which I'm a bury my head in the sand kind of person. So again, that's an evolution that I'm still not fully comfortable with.
It's a necessity, though, isn't it? When you're running something,
it's because of the sacrifice and the possibility of things going wrong. It lands on me.
Yeah. That accountability. The buck stops with you.
Yeah,
that you are literally,
and that's scary.
Yeah.
But
it's scary and liberating at the same time, especially with it is a responsibility. You are accountable, but it's kind of why it's in a way that's why people start their own business and run their own thing, because you also want the autonomy to say it is mine, and I've got that can be liberating. As much as it feels like you're shackled to the job sometimes, it can also be quite liberating because it's your shit, it's your stress, it's your responsibility, your baby, isn't it?
100%. And it is, and it really is my baby there. I love it so much. So it's gone through so much change. I think where we are at the moment, like I say, it has been a rough couple of years, and I've now got such a great team that regardless of what we've been through the last couple of years, people showing up and kind of being dedicated to the studio and then loyal to the studio goes beyond anything. So that removes a real pressure, of obviously I am responsible for it, but knowing that I can lean on like people that genuinely care about the studio. Like I trust them with my life, you know what I mean? And that's huge.
Finding people that give a shit and buy into what you're doing is really hard.
It's really hard.
And over 17 years, I'm sure you've had, free radicals bouncing around who don't fit that mold. But it happens, doesn't it? Like you can't expect it not to. But to be in a position now where you can say that group, that dynamic is one that you can share the load. Is what a great position to be in. My
mum works for me. She's been with me for over 12 years.
Does she and tattooing?
No, she's not tattooing.
Okay, right.
She comes in every morning at 7.
Yeah.
Does the cleaning.
Yeah.
Does the stocking. Does the cashing up and just manages, I suppose, the place. And then Leah's been with me for over 12 years as well. And she's our piercer and front of house.
Yeah.
So again, that little magic duo.
Yeah.
I know everything's good.
And they help create a sense of personality, don't they, to the whole thing?
It's beautiful. Yeah. Genuinely, even though we've gone through a really shit time, the biggest thing I've taken away from that is just how we've stuck to who we are, and it's true and it's genuine, and it just wins out little bit by little bit. We've got clients that come in just for a coffee every day because we do the coffee as well.
Yeah.
But they come and sit 2-3 hours every day and just sit and immerse themselves in the studio and have a chat. And we're all, the team as a collective are always as welcoming from one day to the next. And it's not this false hospitality, slap a smile on it. It's real.
Yeah.
And that's what I that's it for me. Like it's important.
I think that word authenticity comes up a lot. If
I was trying to avoid using that word.
No, I mean, there is a bit of an ick around authenticity, but I think it helps you stay consistent. It's very hard to fake it for long periods of time. There's no way you would have gone 17 years if you were faking that.
Absolutely. People can sniff out the bullshit.
Elaborate for me if it's all right. Yeah. When you say it's been a tough or a shit couple of years.
Oh, you said about obviously the changes in the industry.
Talk to me. So more. I was going to ask more broadly about what changes you've seen in what is now 2 decades of tattooing.
Yeah, so many.
So many. So maybe tell me a couple of the highlights, but also how it's culminated over the last couple of years, because I feel like what you're talking about is a bit more of a universal challenge for all tattooists.
This is what's not comforting is the wrong word, because nobody wants everyone to go through a shit time. But there is comfort.
Yeah.
Well, you kind of go, it's not just us.
It's a shared experience, isn't it, I think, at the end of the day?
Yeah, I mean, it's just a bit shit.
Yeah.
The last couple of years, I think I've gone through almost 2 decades of this little bubble of naivety and kind of optimism, and it's won out year in, year out somehow, which has been amazing. And then I think maybe just getting older and having a more realistic view of things, almost inviting the realism in, potentially, because the blinkers are off. It's just, tattooing is on a downturn at the moment. It goes in cycles. It's not going anywhere. It's never going anywhere. It's literally, you've just got to...
It's trends, right?
Always, And obviously we had such a huge lift pre and post-COVID there's only one. It can't keep going.
Yeah.
You know, and it is hugely oversaturated. Again, I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing, because I just think if you're authentic, if you do what you do, it wins out. You know, again, if you're showing up for your clients day in, day out, and you're grafting, and you're not trying to be some superstar, and you're not, you know, doing it to get your nice thing, which is fine. Again, nothing wrong with that. But it's what your values and your priorities are. I do think if you just stick out, it comes back around. It comes good. Like, my optimism isn't completely dwindled. It just took a little hiatus for like a year, because it was a real reality check. Yeah. Like, the guys at work were doing everything right. You know, but there's just no clients. It's just simply no clients.
So if you could put your finger on one or two reasons behind that.
Cost of living.
Yeah,
obviously, it is ultimately a luxury.
Yeah.
It's not an essential thing that people need. And it was something that I think in some recessions and that I've kind of experienced, people, first thing they do is spend money on themselves because they need a little something. So it's almost had the opposite effect, whereas this is the first time I genuinely feel the studio's been affected in 17 years by people really not having the money and being scared of spending their money. And that's ultimately what it is. Oversaturation. And in part as well, I'm not a great marketer. It's not my strength. Like, my concentration is the clients in the chair and their time in the studio. I'm not great at showing the world that and being slick with the marketing. And again, because we're a bit of an odd bunch, we're a great little unit, but I don't suppose we're very marketable. You know, we don't do one style of tattoo. Like, some studios are so good at it and they're so great, but they have 5 artists doing exactly the same work.
Yeah. And so they become renowned in that.
Oh, it's fantastic from a slick marketing kind of perspective, and they're great at what they do. We have a little bit of everything for everyone. Do you know what I mean? And I have days where I'm doing walk-ins and I'll do little names, and I love that, but it's hard to market that.
Yeah.
I've been dedicated to my daughter. So again, like, although we've got an amazing team, they still need to be led by me. So it's just maybe not having enough to go around to stretch to the extra bit.
Got to prioritise.
So it's hard. Yeah. It's hard. So it's a balancing act. So
I think a lot of advice in marketing is to try and develop a niche and then stick in a lane and then drive that.
I'm a very inconsistent person.
Bucking that trend a little bit.
Yeah. But obviously, again, I do believe that, because it is, we've gone through the worst. And I mean, I'm hearing of artists that are shutting up shop, getting other jobs, which is heartbreaking. And thankfully, at the moment, we're ticking over. We're getting more walk-ins now than we've had in ages, but our costs are high. And again, it is a numbers game.
Yeah. And going back to the point that you made of these kind of trends and ways of working, like at one point in your career, you might have seen walk-ins as, no, that's not what I want. I want the waiting list.
Yeah.
Because you mentioned that in the lead up.
That's quite funny, actually, because the studio's gone through these little waves. So it's gone through times where, and I mean, Southend's, there's not a lot going on in the high street, so there's not a lot of traffic going through. But we've had times where we've been so busy, and the artists that I've had at that time, we've all been booked out for 6 months to a year. Amazing. So if anyone tries to walk in, not through us being, you know, you can't get a tattoo, but we simply can't accommodate you. So then I think we've got a reputation of not being accessible. Whereas now I think we've got a nice kind of blend of, we welcome walk-ins. We've got flash. We're going back to the old school way a little bit, and we've got our designs on the front, you know, that you can walk in and just get there and then. But then so what's nice is we've got different spaces within the studio.
Right.
So then, you've got your all-day custom sessions that are maybe tucked away upstairs in a nice, quiet, chilled area, and then you've got the buzz of downstairs where it's
a bit of a revolving door of people coming in.
Yeah. But that's us trying to maybe accommodate a changing market. I
kind of like guess. That. I think
this right now is my favourite.
In 17 years.
17 years of the studio. I just love it, which is why I'm so, like, last year it did feel a bit iffy at times. I'm so reluctant. I'm so glad that we didn't let it go. because I feel like really excited by this now.
You're re-energized now.
Honestly. So I tend to do my all-day client. I do 9 till 3.
Yeah.
And that's what's really funny about our studio is because a lot of us are parents or we travel, it's gone from being like a midday till midnight thing.
It's an age-old thing of tattoo. Like, again, in my experience,
always 11
o'clock or midday,
I start at
nothing
9.
earlier. Yeah.
Most of us are in by 8. So it's a very, it's not rock and roll.
Yeah.
Like it's great. I love it. But no, I'm excited now. Like I do my all-day clients, so I'm still really challenged and I'm connecting. But then on a Wednesday and a Thursday, Isabella's with her dad.
Yeah.
Again, like I'm doing the little names that are coming in or the little symbols and stuff. And that's a different connection.
Yeah.
And it's something I love about tattooing. So it removes the ponciness of the specialist stuff, and it goes back to the basics of it.
Yeah.
And it's just as valuable. It's just as important. It's really satisfying, and I love that balance that we're getting now.
It's really refreshing to hear someone talk about the fact that you've got that respect across all of the facets of it as well, that you haven't just fallen into a niche or made your way into a niche or targeted a niche, but you're willing to...
You have to adapt. I think that has to be... What's the alternative? But the thing is, there's joy in adaptation or adapting. Like, so last year, again, or the last couple of years, so maybe pre-COVID, I'd open my books up and I'd fill 9 months in one day, half a day. You know, deposits paid, people booked, all lined up. And I think at that time I was too busy. And I think it overwhelmed me a little bit, and it was a bit much. And I don't think I navigated that very well. I wasn't good at replying to emails. I still find emails now from like 2018, and I'm like, fuck, I didn't see it because I'm just not good at that. But again, as I got quiet, so now I struggle to book out fully. So I'm lucky, like it is booking again. I'm pretty much booked out for the rest of the year now, which is amazing. And what's nice is I'm so grateful for it now. Yeah. It wasn't that I wasn't grateful for it before.
But it becomes a norm,
was safe.
Doesn't it?
It was expected. And then, the last couple of years it got humbling. So I was doing conventions without anyone booked in. And I wasn't competing. And I ended up having to do, little symbols and things. And it was quite humbling, but in a good way.
Yeah.
But you have a choice. You can either go, well, I'm too good for that.
Yeah.
Don't you know what I can do and all that kind of stuff? Or you go, right, I'm here for it. Let's go. And it is a choice. And, and I think there's no way forward if you're going in one of those paths.
Yeah. You need to diversify. You need to branch out in different areas. You need to turn left at a junction sometimes to get round and get a bit further along the road.
Post-COVID, I think I took clients on that maybe I would have turned away before.
Okay.
And not through going, oh, I'm too good for that, but I was filled up with the more exciting projects that I could sink my teeth into. But as they weren't so prominent, and I took clients on that maybe, I wouldn't have normally, ended up having my nicest connections with them.
Yeah.
So although the tattooing wasn't, the craziest thing I'd ever done, that 6 hours spent was great.
Yeah.
So you get different value out of different days with different people.
Yeah. And it's nice to be surprised, isn't it, as well?
Again, I have a terrible attention span unless I'm hyper-focusing. And tattooing allows every day to be different.
Yeah.
But there's a comfort of routine and of the technical sort of setup, but you don't know who's in your chair. Or, you could have the same client, different day for them, different experience for me. They're going through something. Do you know what I mean? So it's never the same.
Because you've got a living canvas as well. It's just really, you're shining a light on this, is that, you're a creative, but you also, that doesn't have to be, because there are arsehole tattooists, as we kind of alluded to earlier, that maybe wouldn't care, or I can say it, but they wouldn't necessarily care who they're tattooing and whether they'd need to create or form a connection with someone. They could see that as a piece of skin and they're going to do their art on it. I've never experienced that, I have to say, but I can imagine there are some people out there that maybe see it like that. But as well as the creativity that you're exploring and you've got this amazing talent, you have to connect with people. So I guess that's what keeps them coming back
more
as well.
Important. Yeah. I think you end up attracting, it's like attract like.
Yeah.
Because again, you say potential arsehole tattooists.
Not that you said that, I said that.
Yeah, you said that, I didn't say that. But you get clients that just want to get a piece by a name. They're not connected with the tattoo that they're getting. They just want to collect it because they know that, and they want to spend twice as much on it because they can, and then they can say they can.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So, and you know, there's different clients for different artists, and you find each other, and it's a beautiful thing.
Well, I was going to ask you about your relationship with social media, because when
terrible, shocking.
In what way do you mean?
I'm just really shit at it.
Okay, so I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing. And by that I mean I get that it's a necessary evil when you're having to promote, especially such a visual medium that you are obviously working in. But I also think when you say you're shit at it, there's the side of your business might do better if you were good at marketing.
Yeah, potentially.
But there's also maybe being shit at it means you're not completely governed by that.
Do you know what it is I think when Instagram first came out, I think I just had a guest artist come over from the States to work in the studio, and he introduced me to it. And it was really exciting. And it was, you know, you shared what you were doing. Like I say, it's such a visual job that it instantly gained traction. And I built up tens of thousands of followers really, really quickly. But it wasn't a process that it wasn't a pattern, or it was just an honest kind of reflection of what I was doing at the time. And really bad photos of stuff, you know, like with those weird filters that you'd put on back in the day. But it was an exciting time to be on social media. And one of the greatest things I think about having social media then for me was I had a lot of smoke blown up my arse at the time. You know, oh, you're great, you're amazing, oh my God. No, I wasn't. I was doing really well, but I'm in a little seaside town and people were telling me how great I was. And then you open up an app and you're like, oh my God, there's so many great people out there. That, again, that humbling experience and that kind of going, I need to level up. I need to do some more work.
And were you letting that in? Were you good at...
100%.
You were, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Because I think, well, there's two ways you can go. You can either get swept up and kind of go, oh my God, I'm terrible. Like, I'm just going to sack it off now. But no, I found it a really exciting thing to be on social media. And then fast forward, obviously, 15 years later, it's a very different world. Yes. And there was, and I couldn't tell you when it was, but there was an absolute discernible shift between art and then advertising and influencing. And it's still going now. It tried to circle back around, but I think it's given up on that now. I'm not sure. Because obviously people want authenticity, but at the same time, it doesn't necessarily... Me
and Tom were talking about that before you came in, and we were talking about Instagram, and it's almost like people are saying about authenticity, but they're also talking about how to weaponize it. Like, so how do you hack the algorithm through using authenticity?
It leaves a taste, doesn't it? No. I don't like it, and I think that's where my relationship with social media has fallen away. It's because I decided I just didn't like it. So how can you be good at something you don't? Because I pride myself on, I love tattooing. So I'm good at it. Yeah. I don't love social media. So I'm not going to, so anything I post isn't going to be good because it doesn't come from the same place. Even though you could argue, oh, well, it's your tattoo. It's not that simple. Yeah.
Not now. It's not as simple as you say, like back 15 years ago, you could post a picture of a really good piece of work. It doesn't have to be the best picture of a really good piece of work.
It's a difficult thing because for me, say I've got an 11-year-old daughter. I've got the business. I had another business as well in the last few years. My time with my client, you know, I usually spend 6 hours minimum with a client per day. So I'm tattooing and conversing. And it goes beyond idle chit chat.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
You know, plus the managing and stuff like that. Not that I do a lot of that, but I'm prioritizing my clients' time and my time with them. So I'm prioritizing doing a good job. Yeah. I've got nothing, like I have sessions where I finish up and I'm stumbling over my words when I'm taking the money at the end of the day because my brain's gone, and we're done. Yeah. And, you know, back in the day when I cared about trying to build a following, because I said I wanted to come back to work when I had my daughter, I wanted to make sure there was a secure sort of net of work available. I used to finish my job and I used to do my tattoo and I used to sit for maybe 3 or 4 hours in a chair going through the 50 photos that are taken. Yeah. They all look the same, but I'm trying to decide what to post. And then there'd be days when I'd had a great day with a client, got a shit photo, and then it reduces that value in the tattoo, which is unfair to everyone.
That experience is diminished, even though you were there and it was a tangible experience for you. It was reality.
Looks great. Or I could just maybe have had a negative day in regards to executing the tattoo well, because you have the skill set to do it, but you might be feeling sad. I'm a woman. I could be at a really bad time in my cycle or something, which it sounds odd, but that with art, it's so connected to emotions and stuff. It's a very vulnerable thing. So if you just don't feel good about that tattoo, but it's I say that as if to say it's not a good tattoo. I've done it before where I look at a photograph of a tattoo I've done 2 weeks ago, and when I finished the tattoo and looked at the picture, I was like, shit, I can't post it. Or, I don't like it. Look at it 2 weeks later, I'm like, there's nothing wrong with it. I just felt a certain way at the time. And again, like, I hate that because it diminishes the value of the tattoo, because it's not about me. It's not about my portfolio. It's about the client. And then I feel shit about feeling shit about it.
It's so complex, isn't it? It's like, give yourself a break.
So
but again, I relate to it.
Do you know what I mean?
Completely.
It's really hard because you overthink it, and then you put too much weight on it. And like I say, I like to think that I don't value that. Because I turn up for my client when they're in the chair, and the tattoo is theirs. It doesn't belong to anyone else. But therein lies the problem of not having the 6-month wait list or what have you. Because
I get it.
I have got a folder of beautiful work on my phone that I haven't posted. And it's not for any reason other than I just haven't done it. Do you know what I mean? It's the consistency. You
describe it as being shit at it, and I describe it as it's quite nice to hear that you're just not putting value on it right now, and that's for experience. And maybe you did do that.
Do you know what? That's the key thing. Like you say, the right now thing, and that's like I said earlier about tattooing. You do choose right now. And it's nice to have the experience now to know that you can lean into different
It doesn't have to
aspects.
Be forever.
It's like, but I can. Do you know what? I can spend the next 3 months concentrating on marketing, because if that's somewhere I feel like I can.
And also, if it's a necessity, if you get to a point where you know, okay, we have one option here, and that is to lean into marketing a bit more, you can do that too.
Well, again, this is the thing with the fall off last year, is the realization it's not just about me. Like, I'm responsible for how busy my artists are as well. So actually, it's kind of going, well, it's not a luxury, it's a necessity, like you say.
God, it's complicated, isn't it?
I'm not very good. I'm constantly going around in circles.
No, I think what you're shining a light on is the mindset that you have to have when you're running your own stuff and you're responsible for people.
Some people are incredible at it. I think it's the routine and the consistency, which again is where my kind of, it's not great.
I think if we had your artists or your mum, I think they would be so incredibly.
Don't get me wrong, I have reached a point I know that my strengths kind of balance it out as well. So it's not me being woe. I'm not.
I know. No, I don't feel like you're beating yourself up.
I think it's trying to be honest and realistic now. But it's kind of. I feel like I'm at a time in my life and my age and my experience now to know that, and I can move forward and be better, rather than getting overwhelmed by that or being sad on it and kind of, going, well, that's it then. It's like, okay, well, what can I do that's like manageable to not get overwhelmed? And kind of steer it in the right direction.
Some tools there and ways of doing that. Talk to me, when we talk about getting overwhelmed, I want to talk about some of your creative outlets outside of tattooing, because I saw a couple of months ago, that you won Southend Portrait Artist of the Year. So congratulations on that.
Thank you. It's so ridiculous.
So why is it ridiculous? What was that experience like?
It was lovely.
Okay.
It looked
really
nice.
And wholesome, and it looked lovely, and the way you...
That's exactly what it was.
Yeah.
It was so nice. It's ridiculous because it's me all over, in the fact that I dedicate approximately 0.2% of my time to art outside of tattooing.
So this is interesting.
I don't practice art.
Outside of tattooing?
No.
Right.
Which is heartbreaking and so I mean, there's got to be some psychological shit going on there that I'm working through. And I've been working through for the last 20 years. But I do things, I'm like, oh, I'll do that. And then I just go and do it. And then I won't think on it again.
What a lovely
it's
thing
lovely,
to be
but
able
it's
to
also,
do.
It's a bit of an arsehole thing as well, I think.
Not
Do you
from
know
where
what
I'm
I
sitting,
mean?
but
I don't
can...
know. Like, again, it was such a beautiful experience. And I met some incredible people. And the whole thing, like the community, and it was really lovely to be a part of an art community outside of tattooing, because we're quite our own little thing, you know. It's you don't know unless you know.
You're almost seen from outside in. It's like a subsect of the creative community in tattooing.
100%. Yeah.
But you were let loose and you were in the mainstream, for want of a better
I think
phrase.
I always say that I want to do something, and everyone that knows me can attest to, I never complete a job. I never finish a task. I never do the things that I want to do.
Yeah.
I do a painting probably once every 3 or 4 years.
Okay.
And I love it when I do it. Like, it literally feels like home when I'm doing it. And then I will do one, and it has to be done in one sitting. And then I won't do another one for another couple of years. And again, there's probably so much involved in that kind of thing. Yeah. I say working on it. And it was just to force my hand, really, because I was like, well, if I'm signed up, and that was quite funny because there was like 3 months to submit a self-portrait. This will give everyone a little insight into how my entire career has been. But yeah, I think we had like 3 or 4 months to submit it. And the deadline was at 9 p.m. on a Wednesday night in April, I think, or something. And I decided to start my portrait at 6 p.m. in charcoal, which is a medium I do not know.
My palms are sweating.
I don't know charcoal. So I'm sat there in my bedroom, like making it up as I'm going along, frantically trying to take a picture at 8:58.
Yeah.
And I don't know I hope it doesn't negate my victory, but I submitted it at like 9:05. So I technically was late. Sorry, I probably shouldn't maybe cut that bit out. But yeah, it was right against the wire.
But that's how you work. I mean,
I don't work unless and that's why I think again that tattooing works for me, because I can't just get up and walk away. My client's in the chair.
Yeah. It's not like leaving a canvas,
is it? It's not up
to
me. It's not about me. It's not, it's out of my hands.
Well, before we started recording, you mentioned that after you'd finished work, knowing that you had to come here, you sat down and started reading the book at 5:30.
I finished work. I got home at 4:45.
Yeah.
Made some food, and I had to be here at 6:45. So that was 2
on
hours.
On the dot.
2 hours. Okay, I was like, I can get ready. It's going to be a camera. Great. Should wash my hair. No. Dinner, and then I sat and I went to the library with B a couple of weeks ago for the first time in 3 years, and they wrote off my 3-year-old library fines as well, which I really enjoyed.
Okay, that's a win.
So if you wait long enough,
they just do it.
Yeah. And I sat down and I opened a book, and I don't read, and I sat there until I don't want to be offensive if I tell you.
I'm not. It's
6:10.
Wow. Okay, that is late.
And then I got in the shower, didn't wash my hair.
No, but I
hadn't been wearing makeup. I was like, quick, put some makeup on, quick, do this.
But I think that's a window into how you work, and maybe that pressure helps you.
I feel like I need the adrenaline. I need the pressure, and I'd love to be able to crack a code to understand how to not need that.
Yeah,
I've got little glimmers of being able to work through that now as I'm getting older. I mean, me at 25 was an absolute disaster.
Right.
And I coasted through with people going, "Oh, it's you. It's okay." There was a forgiveness there, which I'm so grateful for, but actually is really unhelpful.
Yeah.
I don't want a free pass anymore.
I was going to say you're given a pass at that age, aren't you?
And I'm going to say I am grateful for it, but I should be held accountable for my behaviour, because otherwise you can't get better. And obviously I'm bringing up a daughter, and she has a lot of the same traits as me.
Yeah.
Again, is it that nature nurture? Who knows?
You want to role model certain traits, behaviours,
and you
whatever.
kind of go, I know how frustrating it is to be me, so let's do better. Do you know what I mean?
No, I do.
Say that we're getting better.
Well, that's good, and I do think, despite, again, I get this impression that you are very humble and you're very quick to not necessarily give the focus on some of these achievements, at least in a podcast setting.
Maybe, yeah.
But congratulations on winning that, because it is a big deal. And to have that, I don't know, validation outside of that tattooing community, and to have done it for you.
It was a big deal.
Yeah, it is a big deal.
I really, let's say the validation there, I think, because I still maybe sometimes there's a disassociation between tattooing and art for me. You know, like I struggle a little bit with the the tattoo community, because I feel like I snuck in there and I'm maybe not, I didn't fight my way in.
You said a bit of imposter syndrome earlier.
And I also think, because I don't practice art, I'm not an artist.
So where do you sit?
Yeah, do you know what I mean? So there is a bit of an identity crisis there. So by me going and doing that, and I say it was such an incredible experience. But again, final, never done a watercolour portrait before. I'll just give that. And it was that kind of like, oh my God, like 2 minutes to go kind of, you know, and I did mess it up. But yeah, it was something that I was proud of, actually. And when people said, oh, congratulations, I was like, thank you. Yeah. Like, I appreciate it.
Well, I hope it opens the door to you doing more of it, because I would love to see more of your work in that medium, or what, you know, just a way that you can express yourself creatively in a different way. But again, you've got to prioritise, and you've got all these things, and it seems to work for you. So
yeah, that's where I want to go. If I'm honest, I want to really dedicate a lot more time to art. When
we air the episode, we'll share a picture of the winning piece, because it was just amazing, and it's weird now having spoken to you, because we've never met, but there's character. Even though you are painting someone, you've got a subject. There's a bit of you in that. Does that make sense? There's a bit of your identity in that piece, and that is coming across now.
Somebody said, I was with, do you know Ash Fields?
Yes, yeah. Well, I know of Ash. I don't know him well.
Visited him the other day. Went down to Bristol and saw him, and he commented on it, and he did say he was like, she was the perfect like person for you. He said, because there was elements of you that were in the painting or the portrait. And I do think it's so weird, because I do think most artists, it reflects back on
there's got to be
you a little bit. There has to be a little bit of something there.
And that's weird. Yeah, because I looked at the piece, and as a piece of art, I think objectively you can say that looked like the person that you were
hopefully
trying to recreate. Yeah. But now, having sat opposite you can really see there's a bit of you in that.
It's weird, isn't it? But I do agree. Yeah. But that's what's amazing about it. That's what I love about art as well. Like, if I was to do something on a different day, maybe it would reflect something different.
Could have been completely different.
Yeah, and that's exciting. Like, that's like, and that's what frustrates me, is because I don't dedicate enough of myself to it. I know, I actually will. It will now.
Keep all the plates spinning. Right, I've got a few questions, and then we're going to play a game. Okay. So we are approaching the end. What's your favourite thing you've ever tattooed? You must be able to say.
There's a few, because again, I think it's the association with the client as well.
The experience that you had, the day that you might have had.
There's a couple of favourites, I guess. There was a Jimi Hendrix that I did years ago, and it's really small here, and that was on a lovely gentleman, and he was just a really unexpected person. He was very proper and just quiet, and he ended up hitting this full colour, wild kind of music sleeve. And I just really enjoyed the element of surprise I like that idea of again, people, you don't know that someone's got tattoos unless they're kind of bearing them, and I like that unexpected kind of thing. There's a friend of mine, Beck, they tattoo up in Lincoln. But I suppose their pieces were maybe the things that went viral back in the day. But they had like a whole space scene, full front kind of thing that was... that's what's nice as well. Like, I did a sleeve on them when they were 18. So I've been tattooing, I mean, I don't know if that's 10 or 15 years ago now, but 2 sleeves, full front. And now they're this incredible tattoo artist with their own studio. But they came to me as a really kind of scared 18-year-old.
And you've seen that evolution for them too.
and watching the evolution of the tattoos as well on someone when you've tattooed them for such a long time as well.
Yeah, because as we've discussed, taste changes. You're not going to get the same
change.
Stuff.
There's so many elements of differentiation in there. But that's what's exciting about it again.
Yeah, I like that. I'm going to ask you for some advice, because I think there's a lot of... Because again, going back to that mystique of how you enter the tattoo industry and how that's changed over the years. For anyone that's listening to this that's maybe a creative, or maybe they've already made the decision that actually tattooing is something that I really want to explore, what is one piece of advice you'd give to someone trying to make a break to get into it?
To prioritise consistency. To be true to putting the work in before you've even started. Research what you like, which artists you like, make connections with those people. Don't just rock up on someone's doorstep and be like, oh, you got any apprenticeships going? Without putting, because there's too much competition out there, so you have to stand out. So again, it comes back to that thing of knowing that that's definitely the pathway for you and sticking to it, rather than going, oh, I think I can make some money here, and which sounds like a contradiction of what I said right at the beginning, but it's not. Again, I just think it doesn't matter which pathway or entry you have into it. If you want it, you'll get there. Like, I genuinely think that. Like, there's not one route. Not one route at all. There's routes that are more frowned upon than others, or more respected. But I don't know. It's such an open industry now with regards to access to information and access to studios, that I don't think there's any excuse for not putting yourself all out there and researching the right people. And not being funny, like, there's seminars online, there's so much that you can do before you even get into a studio. But it's hard, because I say I'm so far removed from that now to offer the advice, because I haven't had an apprentice in probably over a decade, you know what I mean? So, and I have no intention of having one ever again. Not for any, I just can't.
You're beyond that.
I say I want to dedicate myself in other avenues.
I think it still feels maybe there's a bit of mystique around it. But that's not a bad thing.
I think there should be, in all honesty. I do think there's a bit of magic missing there.
I love things that have a barrier to entry, which means that you have to show willingness and consistency and a bit of heart to get in.
All of that, 100%.
That's actually in a day where in a day and an age where so much is now accessible for anyone.
Yeah.
I love something that means, come on, just show a little bit more than the person next to you to get a break. And then that kind of tests your mettle, and you can build from there.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Okay, I'm still remembering 20 years ago just being, and Jethro not replying to my email now.
The really number of tattooists that are actually good at that is very minimal.
Well, when you said...
I do everything via WhatsApp now. I've sacked off emails completely.
Yeah. I've never met a tattooist that's good at communicating.
I am
Some
infinitely
now outsource
better.
That to assistants.
I've done that before.
Yeah.
There's a new app thing. I've tried that, and it's like, actually, I think for me, WhatsApp is the
one.
Yeah, because it's something I need to be reminded.
You're on it anyway, aren't you?
Exactly.
For day to day, so that makes sense. Do you want to play a game?
Go on then.
Cool. Okay. We're going to get set up for the game now. All right, me again. I'm going to get lynched if I don't go out the door in a minute and drive my kids to the beach. But just a reminder that if you haven't yet rated and reviewed the podcast, if you could do that, it hugely, I'm just going to roll with it. It makes a massive difference. If you haven't subscribed on YouTube yet and you go on YouTube to watch the podcast, please could you do that for me too? I'm in trouble. I'll see you later. Okay, so the game before we start.
Yep.
I'm going to show you images of tattoos zoomed in. You're going to tell me the body parts that these tattoos have been tattooed on. Okay. Do I get bonus points if I can tell you who the artist is and all that kind of thing, or are they that? They're quite. I googled them. Oh, okay. So yeah, I would have loved to make it local artists. Do I get points if I can tell you how many times someone's brought the pictures in to ask to get them tattooed? Yeah. You like the bonus point idea, don't you? I feel like I should have thought this through. Right. Now, remembering it is an audio medium, so we do need to describe the pictures as well. Oh, so that the audience can't see us. So the audience will see it if they're watching on YouTube. Okay. If they're just listening, we have to give them a description. Well, you just watch it on YouTube. There's your answer. So, first off, this is the zoomed in image. What are we seeing? If you can, because I don't know, what style is this?
Oh, this is the bit
Is
that
there
I
a discernible
hate, 'cause this is
style?
where I show up my not knowing
Is this
anything.
like a demon mask type thing?
Yeah, and any other tattooists are going to come for me.
Oh, that's all right. Don't worry.
Tibetan, potentially, like in traditional style, kind of skull masky thing.
A lot of colour.
It's very cool.
Yeah.
Very colourful. I like it.
Have you ever
but I couldn't
tattooed
tell you
anything
its
like
technical
that
term.
at all? Is this something that
No.
you've dabbled with? Okay. Where is it? What body?
I don't tattoo that because I don't know what it is. And I'd feel like a fraud if I was doing that. Does that make sense?
That's a respectable
I am going to guess on the back of the head.
It is the back of the head. Look at that. Well done. And
Very
at this
nice.
point, we're
It's
gonna,
even better now. Like I really like
I
that.
know the zoomed in thing really didn't do any favours, but we'll put some
That's
sort
really
of
nice.
nice sound effect over that when you win. So when you watch it back, it'll feel like an event. Okay.
The inner lip.
It is the inner lip.
It's usually the C-bomb that's in there.
It was a real struggle. So this is someone with a ginger moustache. I will show the zoomed out version in a minute with rock and roll. It was hard not to find a swear word.
Yeah.
There was a lot of fucks, and
He
there
looks
was.
really pleased with it though, doesn't he?
He loves it. He absolutely loves it. As long as he's happy. Is that a
Oh.
particularly bad area to get
That's
tattooed? Just quickly, the inside
I've
of the
not
lip?
done one, to
They
be
don't
honest.
last,
I've
do
got a
they?
feeling they're not that bad.
Okay.
I don't know. It's not too sensitive.
Maybe that's one to try.
But I don't think it's fun to tattoo. It's all obviously trying to dry it off. And,
And
I
maybe
haven't
they
done
don't
one.
last too long. This is a picture. Sorry for the pixelation. What do you want to explain what that is, Sam?
That is grim. That is a baby being eaten by a shark.
It sounds
Or a
awful
doll's
when you
head.
say
Let's
it
go with
like
a
that.
doll's head.
Doll's head. Yeah. Okay.
Doesn't. Yeah, it's not happy.
Is this like is this a
It's
like
not trad.
No.
But
if I said neo-trad, does
it's
that
not
make
that
sense?
either.
No, didn't
It's
think
just it's a little blend.
Look, if I don't know what the bloody hell it is, but yeah,
It's
I
like
think
a 90s tattoo, like, I don't know.
Cool. No, that's fine.
2000s.
Where is it?
That's an armpit.
It is an armpit. How did you know that?
Oh, and
Is
she's
it
such
obvious?
a pretty girl. Why has she got such a
Is that
bad
obvious,
tattoo there?
the armpit from there? I really thought that was hard.
It's
I
just
guess
'cause
maybe the
just,
curve.
I just know.
This is why you're a specialist. Right, okay. This is why we're playing the game with you. Okay, this one.
This one's tricky. Oh, that's a nipple.
It is a nipple.
hello.
I've never been so excited someone say it's a nipple. So it's a nipple with I'm going to go sombrero.
Oh, it's so bad.
It's awful,
Do
isn't
you know
it?
what?
But you love it.
I actually love it. I just wish it was done a bit better. I wish someone had actually gone to a studio and got that done. I'll do that for someone if they want.
So
Because it's fun.
I recently had I had a chest piece done, and I had part of my nipple tattooed. It was
How
one of
was
the.
that?
It was horrendous. It was one. It felt like it was
tattooed a few
being scratched
nipples.
off. It was horrific.
I don't think I could personally have it done. So kudos to you.
I mean, it was a little more than just 2 dots and a smiley face as well.
That's enough for most people.
Yeah,
That is horrendous.
but good at the same
But I
time.
love it.
Yeah.
I just wish it was better.
Okay.
Yeah, anyway.
If whoever's tattoo this is watching,
I'm so
Sam's
sorry,
offering to
but-
do a glow up as well. Apparently on the
No,
sombrero
I just want to do
nipple.
my own version.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not
That's
touching
another
that.
thing.
That's special. That's
That's done. That's locked in.
That is forever.
Okay.
Oh,
Go on. What are we seeing?
it's the gums.
It's the gums.
Why?
It's a terrible picture. This is a rush job.
I'd be so intrigued. I'd be so intrigued to see how this settles down over the years. To see if it's like permanently
What is
there.
this? Is this can't
I've not
be
seen that
a
before.
common thing, can it? To have your gum.
I mean,
your
how many
gums
people have you seen?
tattooed? It's horrific. Painful as well, I can imagine.
I would have thought so.
Yeah, he's obviously not scared of the dentist.
It's pretty
for
cool,
that.
I guess. But
Okay, where's this?
that's the sole of the foot.
It is the sole of the foot.
You can tell because of
skin?
just the way that the lines go into the skin.
Have you ever done the sole of a foot? It is the
haven't.
sole of a foot.
That's
Just-
really nice.
I like that.
Yeah, again, would love to see that, like all settled down and healed.
Are there
I think
similarities
that's great.
between palm, which I've heard is a horrific place to have tattooed, but again, I think that's a universal thing, and
Yeah.
sole of the feet, depending, I guess, what the...
Yeah, I mean, I've always heard. Again, I have never tattooed either.
Okay. Would you do a palm?
Sure.
Yeah? It's not because
I don't expect it to hold in very well.
Right,
Again,
okay.
I don't think my strength is nice, heavy
Right,
line
really
work.
leaning into
There'll
it,
be
yeah.
someone else that can do a much better job, but
Sole of the feet, you'd ever
that
go?
would have been horrific for them to get done. It's
So
done really
what we're
nice.
looking
It's
at-
really nice.
This is I think this is supposed to be a heart, but with the teardrops, it looks like a strawberry, and that's not a critique, but it could be a strawberry with knives in it.
Yeah, they could have maybe accentuated the heart
fine.
a little bit more.
It's not for
on
me
both
to
of
judge.
them.
I couldn't do any better than that. But I love that one. Right, what's this?
Is that the roof of the mouth?
It is. It's the roof of the mouth. It's a spider on the roof.
It looks like it's stick and poke, that one, actually, which makes more sense.
So I read about this, I think, in looking at this image, that the poke tattoos.
I don't think I'd want to be in someone's mouth for any length of time.
I mean, you've got to be. Both parties have got to be very comfortable with each other to do roof of the mouth. Yeah, I wouldn't do it. But anyway, that's done.
Cool.
What's this one?
Oh, I've seen this one. This made me so sad.
So just before we do the reveal,
I hate this
what we're showing right now is a tattoo of a man holding the steering wheel of a spaceship. But when we zoom out, so do you want to tell everyone where it's based?
It's just ridiculous. It's around his throat.
It is around his throat.
Oh, it's.
But it doesn't make you laugh.
He was everywhere. He literally,
it was a viral
haunted
tattoo.
me. It's horrific.
Just, you guys can't see this, can you?
It genuinely makes me uncomfortable.
It's exactly that tattoo, yeah. It's horrific, isn't it?
It's the extra little nipples as well, though.
Yeah, brilliant. I mean, because he's now got 4 nipples, essentially. Right, okay.
Does that look like a face of regret?
Yes. Oh my God, I've gone right through.
I'm not looking.
We're giving it away. Quick. Does it look like a face of regret?
Look at him. He doesn't.
I don't think he's happy. I think he's gone home and shown his partner that and went, fuck, I've really got this bad. Right, okay. But that's where laser has become a big thing.
We offer laser in the studio.
Laser removal is a big thing. Okay. Where is this?
That's the ear.
It is the ear. So
I'm a fan of an ear tattoo. Again, I haven't really done one. I think they're pretty cool.
This is cool. Super delicate and really cool. And I've not seen many people with them.
I like that.
Do they hold as well? So for the listener, we're looking at a tattoo.
There's no reason why it shouldn't if it's done well.
Yeah. It's really cool.
It's like really nice.
A Grim Reaper-esque skull hand thing.
Claw hand coming down.
Cool.
He looks like he's about to get
This is the last one.
Well, I did see the spoiler. I think I would have known what it is anyway.
Because there's a sheen to it. Do you want to tell everyone what it is?
That is an eyeball.
It's an eyeball. What is going on with tattooing the eyeball?
Not for everyone.
You're not going to say yes to this, I'm assuming. Or have you done this?
No, because I don't want that. Because I'm not an expert on it. So, But from what I understand, there are risks involved. I'm not responsible for that risk.
I read a little bit ahead of this, and the whole tattooing the eyeball, you can lose vision.
In my mind, it's more of a body modification than a tattoo art. If that makes, I think it looks cool for the right person.
Yeah.
Again, because I'm surrounded by heavily tattooed people, I don't look at that and kind of.
I mean, this is such a departure from
horrified by it or anything, but
I'm not. It's more thinking if I nearly cried having my nipple tattooed, I can't imagine a needle. And also, I struggle putting contact lenses in. If you're going to come at me with a tattoo needle or so, I'm blinking away. Anyway, it's not judgment. I'm sure it's a lovely experience.
Again, I think that's a totally different technique to what I would. Okay. You're not colouring in the eyeball. As far as I understand it, I think you inject it and it disperses.
It's mad, isn't it? Well, thank you so much. I mean,
pleasure. Thanks for that.
You smashed it. It was great.
Bit at the end.
No, it's
10 out of 10.
It's fantastic. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Cheers for the feedback. Right, we're going to go last question on the podcast. Now, this is the closing tradition. You've said that you've scrubbed through a couple of episodes, and I'm not offended by that. But the closing tradition on the podcast is a question from my mum. So my mum sends in a voice note to the guest.
Love that.
And we play that down the phone. So I'm going to find it. Mum had a couple of cracks at this today. I'm going to play the one that I feel is good. They're all good.
What's your mum's name?
Lisa. Thank you for asking. She likes that when people do that. Okay, we're going to play it down the phone.
Hi. What would you do if somebody asked for a tattoo that you knew wasn't going to look good in, say, 20, 30 or 40 years? Thanks.
That's Mum.
Love her.
Yeah, she's great.
Good question.
She's good.
So that's a tricky one because whether something looks good in 20, 30, 40 years is actually really hard to discern.
Yeah.
But if someone wants me to do something that I don't believe is necessarily the right option, I just don't.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to tattoo something that I would question. Ultimately, your artist needs to feel comfortable tattooing you and be comfortable with that responsibility of knowing that you might wake up tomorrow and go, what the fuck have I done?
How do you manage that though? If someone's coming in, they've got a really clear idea in their mind. They want a certain thing. They've come to you for a reason. Like now, whilst you don't define yourself as attached to a certain style, they've come to you for a reason. There's an element of talking down, isn't there, or trying to modify that.
That's a real tricky. It's a tricky dynamic, especially in this day and age when people believe they know a lot more.
Yes.
Like just in the last, again, bit of a segue, but just in the last few months, I've seen it a lot, and I think it's actually going to be another little downfall of tattooing.
Okay.
Unrealistic expectations, because people are bringing in AI photos of tattoos or modified photos of tattoos, and they expect you to be able to recreate that. And usually you can tell straight away, like, that's not possible. But there's still, I still just sometimes don't know how long something will take, or I don't know how. Do you know what I mean? It's not a given. It's not a specific yes or no, or black and white situation. And that's really really tricky, is to be able to give an educated answer to someone that maybe doesn't want to hear it, or because if they can see it, it's real.
Yeah.
Over the years, I've really struggled with that, and I think I've kind of not been bullied. That's the wrong term, but not stood my ground with knowing that I can do a better job.
It's experience and confidence, and you need 100%. To know yourself, and you need to have earned your stripes enough to be able to really push back, I guess.
Yeah, and just have an authority to be listened to.
That's a great word.
And I don't think I believed I had that for the longest time. And again, that is how you articulate it with someone. You can do that without being condescending and stuff like that. But now, you just offer them, rather than just giving them out right now, you offer them an alternative. Do you know what I mean? And just back up the chat with, if they're willing to listen, back up the chat with examples and visuals. Otherwise, you just say no, and then you watch as they get it done elsewhere.
It's a collaborative thing, isn't it? It's consultative, it's collaborative,
honestly,
it's working together to come up with something.
Exactly. Like they, you can feel. I've had it before where you can feel it if they don't trust you, and it has the worst effect if they're trying to micromanage it, or and I get it. It's huge. Do you know what I mean? To put that trust in someone, but if they're not feeling it, it doesn't bode well for either of you. It really sours the experience, and it plants a seed of doubt, and then you don't give your best work. So if someone's coming to you with an idea and like your mum says, like, it's not going to look good, I will tell you straight what I believe.
Well, that's nice,
and it's it's your choice whether you
go ahead and maybe do that through someone else too. I think you have to grow into that as well, and have that confidence and authority too. I don't know if Mum's going to email you soon about a tattoo. I don't know if that's what's really driven the question.
She can have this little sombrero. Sorry.
I don't know.
No,
I don't know about that. No. Mum, you can do what you want, Mum. I'm all good with it. You've been so gracious and given us so much of your time. It's been a really amazing experience.
Thank you.
And thank you for going back to the start and bringing us up to now.
You've unlocked some stuff now. I've got another 3 hours of I'm going to go home, and we're going to be thinking of just
I hope this is the start of you doing more of this, because you've obviously got a lot of stories to tell and a lot of expertise to share and all of this stuff.
Yeah, oh my goodness.
Brilliant. Yeah. But thank you so much, Sam. You've been a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you to all
of
you.
Cheers. Well done. You smashed it. It was so good.
Good job, team.
Oh, there we go. Is it team effort?
Yeah.
Lovely.